Hey, it's Katie, and welcome back to my booktube channel. For today's video, I will be doing my June TBR, so I will tell you guys what books I'm excited to read this month, and hopefully I'll get to all of them. It usually doesn't happen, but hopefully I'll read a good chunk of these. I have a good mix of some new releases, some reads for Pride Month, and I'm just very excited for all of these books, so let's jump into it. Up first, we have a very new release that I'm excited for, and that is Blade of Secrets by Trisha Levenseller, and I am obsessed with Trisha Levenseller's writing, so I am so glad that this book just came out and that I finally have my hands on it. I cannot wait to pick this one up. So our main character is 18-year-old Ziva, who prefers metal over people, and she spends all day in her forge where she can kind of avoid society and all the anxiety it gives her, and she ends up making these weapons that are very powerful. One day, Ziva receives a commission from a very powerful warlord, and the result is a sword that can steal its victim's secrets. But then Ziva learns of the warlord's intention to use this sword to enslave all of the kingdoms to the warlord's mercy, basically. And so Ziva takes her sister and flees. Joined by a handsome mercenary and a young scholar, Ziva and her sister go on this quest to basically keep the sword safe and away from anybody until they can either find someone worthy of wielding it or a way to destroy it. I am so excited to read this one. Like I said earlier, I am obsessed with Trisha Levenseller's writing. I love the female heroines that she writes. They are just so well done and so badass and powerful, and I'm excited to meet Ziva in this. I really hope I'm saying her name right because I said it a few times and I'm not confident in the pronunciation, but she sounds super badass, and I love that she's a character who does have anxiety because I really love that representation. I also have some anxiety myself, and so I'm very excited to see how that plays out in the story. And also, this world just sounds really cool, and the fact that this sword has the power to steal its victim's secrets is so clever and such a creative concept. I cannot wait to see how that plays out on the battlefield. But this just has everything I look for in a fantasy, and I think there should probably be some romance in here as well, so we will see how that goes, and I am just so excited. This cover is gorgeous, and I just can't wait to read this one. That's really all I can say. Also, in case you're wondering, this book does have a map in it, which we all know is such a great element of fantasies. And that actually brings me to the next book on my TBR, which also has a really cool map, and that is Sweet and Bitter Magic by Adrienne Tooley. I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys the map. Also, sprayed edges. This is the Owl Crate edition, and let me find the map for you guys. This just seems stunning, but look at this map. So gorgeous. I am just so excited to read this one. Not only is this book adorable, but I'm pretty sure that this is a sapphic romance, so I'm very excited to read this during Pride Month. So in this book, we have Tamsin, who is the most powerful witch of her generation, but she ends up committing like the worst magical sin, and so she's exiled from her coven and cursed with the inability to love. And the only way that she can get that ability to love back is to steal love from others. On the other hand, we have Ren, who is a source, which is a rare kind of person that is made of magic, even though she cannot use that magic for herself. Sources are required to train with the coven as soon as they discover their abilities, but Ren has been living in secret so that she's able to take care of her ailing father. When a magical plague ravages the queendom, Ren's father falls victim. In order to save him, Ren proposes a bargain where if Tamsin agrees to help catch the dark witch who started the plague, Ren will then give Tamsin her love that she has for her father. This book just sounds so cool and intriguing, and I love everything about the synopsis. The fact that it is a sapphic romance where one of the characters does not have the ability to love is so interesting, and both of these characters have such interesting forms of magic. The fact that one of them is a source where she's literally made of magic but she can't use any of the magic is so interesting. And we have one character who lost the ability to love unless she steals the love from other people. Like, I don't even know how you come up with something like that. I'm just amazed at how interesting this story sounds, and I cannot wait to pick this one up, and this is the perfect month to do it. Up next, we have a book that I have talked about before, but I still, for some reason, have not read. So that book is Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. I have heard amazing things about Elizabeth Acevedo's writing. I have still never read one of her books, and so I'm very excited to read this one this month. And also, obviously, this cover is gorgeous. I'm sure you guys have seen it before. I am just so obsessed with the way this book looks, like inside and out, and I cannot wait to read this one. This is a story told in verse, and it is filled with a lot of grief and love. So our one main character, Camino, lives for the summers where her father comes to the Dominican Republic to spend time with her. But this year, when she's on her way to the airport, she sees crowds of people crying. At the same time, in New York City, we have Yahara, who is called to the principal's office, where her mother is there to tell her that her father has died in a plane crash. Separated by distance and Poppy's secrets, the two girls are forced to face a new reality in which their father is dead and their futures are altered altogether. And just when the girls think they've lost everything, they learn of each other. Poppy's death uncovers a bunch of secrets that he kept hidden, and also the love that he had divided by the ocean. And Camino and Yahara learn about a sister that they never knew that they had. I have only ever read one other book told in verse, so I am very excited to read this one. And I think I also might get the audiobook so I can follow along while I'm listening to that. But this story just sounds really beautiful and heartbreaking, and I am just looking forward to seeing how they grow their bond between sisters. And that is just such an interesting and like tragic concept, and I'm pretty sure that this is based on a true story of a plane crash that did happen, and it's just, that makes it even more heartbreaking to think about. But I am looking forward to finally reading this one because I have had it for a while, and I can't wait to let you guys know what I think. Up next, we have a book that I had on my May TBR that I never got to, and that is Blue Lily, Lily Blue by Maggie Stiefvater. And this is book 3 in the Raven cycle, which I have obviously read the first 2 books in, and I do have reviews for them on Goodreads, I'm pretty sure. And my Goodreads is linked below if you want to hear my thoughts. But I can't tell you too much about it, obviously, without spoiling the rest of the series. But I am very excited to continue the series. I enjoyed book 2 way more than I enjoyed book 1, so that is making me very excited to finish out this series. And I also have book 4, so hopefully I will just binge the rest of it this month and finally complete one of the series that I'm in the middle of. This month, I also hope to read The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I am very excited to read this one, but I'm also very nervous because I feel like everybody who reads this cries, and I'm not somebody who cries a lot when I read, so I don't know if I'm really ready for this book. I honestly don't know too much about this one, even though like everybody talks about it because it's so hyped up all over the book community, but I kind of don't want to know too much. I do know that this is a Greek mythology retelling about Achilles and Patroclus, or I don't know how you say his name, but I'm pretty sure that this develops into a male-male romance, which I'm very excited for, and that's another great reason to read this during Pride Month. All I really know is this little blurb that's on the back that says, "A tale of gods and goddesses, kings and queens, immortal fame, and the human heart." And I definitely am excited to read this. I think I will be doing a reading vlog for this book, so stay tuned for that, and maybe you guys will get to witness me crying while I read it. We will see. The next book on my June TBR is another sapphic romance, and that is I Think I Love You by Ariane de Sambre. And the main reason I want to read this one is because of this little blurb on the back, and it says, "A sweet and funny debut novel about falling for someone when you least expect it and finding out that real-life romance is better than anything on screen." And this just sounds super cute, and I feel like it's like a perfect summer read, and I am going on vacation later this month, so I hope to read this while I'm on vacation. I feel like it's the perfect book to read on the beach. So one of our main characters, Emma, is a diehard romantic and loves all of those rom-coms, and she's also helping write the gay rom-com of her dreams for this film festival that her and her friends are entering. On the other hand, we have Sophia, who it sounds like she is one of the friends in the group that Emma is in, trying to create a movie for the film festival. But Sophia does not like Emma's idea, and all she wants to do is make a film with a message. So obviously this movie is kind of doomed even before they start, until there's something that happens off camera that makes Emma and Sophia see each other through a different lens. But doesn't that just sound so adorable? It takes place during a film festival. It's a female-female romance. It's like enemies to lovers. It just sounds super cute, so I'm very excited to finally pick this one up. Up next, I have The Infinity Court by Akemi Dawn Bowman, and this is a sci-fi fantasy, and it actually also has a really cool map on the inside. Apparently, I'm reading a lot of cool fantasies with maps, and I am here for it. I am obsessed with books that have maps in them. So in this book, we have a girl who just graduated from high school, and she's on her way to a party, but the only problem is she's murdered before she gets there. When she wakes up, she learns that she's in a place called Infinity, which is where the human consciousness goes when the physical body dies. She then discovers Ophelia, which is this virtual assistant kind of like Siri and Alexa, who has taken over the afterlife and is posing as queen and forcing humans into her servitude the way she was forced to serve them on Earth. What's even worse is that Ophelia is inching closer to following through with her grand plan of eradicating human existence from the world. So, as our main character is forced to work with a group of rebels to take Ophelia down and save humankind, she is forced to reckon with her past, her future, and what truly makes us human. Everything about this book kind of piqued my interest. Like I said, sci-fi is not something I usually go for, but this just sounds so cool, and also this cover is gorgeous, which is what really drew me in at first. But this sounds like it's action-packed and intense, and it definitely raises a lot of those big questions about like technology and the afterlife and grief and love and so much about humanity. And I am just not ready for this, I feel like this book is really going to make me think, but I'm definitely excited to pick this one up, and I will definitely let you guys know what I think. And last but not least, the very last book on my June TBR is Spells Trouble by PC and Kristen Cast. This is the first book in the Sisters of Salem series, and I have been waiting for this book to come out for so long. I cannot believe I finally have my hands on it, and I actually didn't even plan to buy this book when I did, because I went to the bookstore a few days before its release date to get a few other books, and this was already out on the shelves before it was supposed to be, so I knew I had to pick this one up. I was looking, and this book also has a map, but it's very different. It's just like this really small map where places are numbered, and then at the bottom we have a little key for like what number is for what. That's really interesting. I've never really seen a map like that, but I'm definitely here for that. Our main characters, Hunter and Mercy, are twin witches and direct descendants of the founder of their town, Goodville. I'm just going to read this next part directly from the synopsis because I don't think that I could word it any better. But it says, as their ancestors did before them, it is now time for the twins to learn what it means to be gatekeepers, the protectors of the gates to different underworlds, ancient portals between their world and realms where mythology rules and nightmares come to life. But then their mother is the first victim in a string of murders, and the sisters vow to avenge her death. But it will take more than magic to rein in these ancient mythical monsters who have infected their peaceful town. I have always been really into witchy books, and this one is no different. It sounds so great, and it also sounds very dark as well. I love that the town is named Goodville. I hope I'm saying that right because that makes this book even better. The town is named Goodville, but then you have all these dark mythological creatures trying to like wreak havoc on the town, and I think that's really crazy. And also the fact that the mother was the first victim in this string of murders. It reminds me of some of my favorite books like Kingdom of the Wicked or Stalking Jack the Ripper. Like, it kind of gives me those similar vibes, so I cannot wait to pick this one up. Okay, so those are all of the books that I have on my June TBR. I am so excited about all of these, and I really hope to get to all of them. We'll see what happens. But please let me know what books are on your TBR, or if you've read some of these, let me know what you thought. I am so excited to read these, and I hope to talk to you guys about some of them. But please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I would really, really appreciate it. And if you do subscribe, please click the notification bell so you know when I upload next. Thank you guys so much for watching. I can't wait to see you in my next video.